up, guys? Welcome back to Say Mojo Homestead. It's the weekend, and you may notice I'm flying solo. It's been, to be honest, a rough week. This week we've had the flu go crazy through our family. So far, I'm the only one that hasn't gotten it. Hopefully, I will come out unscathed, but we'll see. Cass this weekend came down with it, so she is the one that is dealing with it right now. Been flying a little solo this weekend. The girls also had their sort of end of the year dance recital, but they don't really do a recital. They do more of a show, and they did a great job with that. Cass is the co-director, so it made Saturday's performance a little interesting. I had to fill in, but everything went smoothly. You know, it actually we pulled it off. So it was good. So today, for this weekend's video, we are going to be able to do the same thing that we were planning on doing. I'm just going to do it by myself. But we are talking about our goat setup, and we're also in the process of transforming their pen to pseudo pasture. Now, if you don't know what pseudo pasture is, it's not just a wide open blank spot like you would think of as pasture. It is a mixture of pasture and trees. They are in a wooded area. I'll turn you guys around and kind of show you that now. So their pen is over here, and as you can see, there's a lot of trees and stuff. It is beneficial for us because it does provide them with a lot of shade, and it helps to keep everything a lot cooler in the summertime. On the far end, behind you guys, there's a lot of afternoon sun that comes in there. So we're gonna thin out all of the smaller trees, leave just the big trees. And we are going to, in the next few weeks, be seeding that area with coastal Bermuda. Should be enough sun that gets in there. We do have irrigation over there that is set up for the garden that can shoot into their pen. So we're gonna be doing that, but part of this process is we've got to divide their pen. So they're gonna get shrunk down a little bit. And I don't know that they're gonna like it too much, but they'll get used to it. We gotta keep them off of it for about 2 months, and then we'll be able to open it back up and they'll be able to graze on that. I'm about to create a whole bunch of goat candy for all these guys. They're gonna love it. They're gonna hate the noise, but they're gonna love the reward. So let's get started. Okay, I think I'm gonna let that be it for now. This has got a lot of leaves in here for them to eat. I really do, since we're taking out trees, want to take advantage. And I'm gonna let them eat all of these up probably through the next week. Then next weekend, we'll probably come back out here and do it again. I do want to note, in case there are expert tree identifiers out there that are also familiar with goats, some of these that we did take out are wild cherries. I am gonna pull these out of the pen. You do not want to let goats eat anything that is in the cherry family once it's been cut, because as soon as it's cut, it starts to wilt. It actually releases a toxin into the leaves, and so if they eat it, it could make them really sick. So I got to go through, find all those cherries that I cut, and pick them up. All right, so I think that was it. There are actually only 2 that I cut. There were a couple others, but they were completely dead just because they had been stripping the bark on them, so those little saplings died. One thing that you may have noticed in that really fast-paced cleanup is that I was not cutting them off at the ground. I was leaving a good foot to all of them. The reason is because pretty much all of them that I took out are sweet gum, and sweet gum will sucker really easily off of the stumps, and goats love sweet gum. They've pretty much cleaned out everything that they can reach in this pen, so that'll get it back down to their level when it starts growing again. Now, they will browse on it heavily enough to where it will give up probably within a year, and that tree will end up not having enough energy to put out new growth. But until then, it's going to provide them with some food. Speaking of food, let's get back to talking about that. So one thing I do want to make clear is that is not enough space to solely feed them, and that's not what we're trying to do. We are just trying to supplement so that we can help to cut feed cost. Now, their feed is mainly going to be hay. That's what we are supplementing, trying to keep our hay cost down for them. I don't think it's any surprise that costs are going up. That's one reason why we're doing that. That is our main motivation behind doing this. We are already implementing new feeding not schedules, I guess regiments, with our other animals to work on getting that cost down or eliminating it altogether. The biggest ones are our rabbits. That feed has jumped astronomically. The rest of them have not been too bad, but we are already transitioning them almost 100% over to wild forage. And they are probably the easiest ones to do it because they don't require as much. They're a smaller animal. Our dogs, what we've been doing with that, I've been seeing a lot of things on social media, people asking, like, I can't find dog food. What are you guys doing? How are you supplementing? Well, not all those people are homesteaders, but if you're a homesteader, chances are really great that you do have chickens. So what we have done is we have cut their dog food rations down to about a third of what the bag suggests that we be feeding them, and then we're giving them 2 eggs a day. Now, our dogs are medium to smaller size dogs. They're only 40 pounds. So you need to look into this yourself and figure out what the right, ratios are or whatever. But by cutting that out, we have really saved a lot on dog food because theirs has started to creep up as well in price. But we have found that giving them, where we would normally give them 3 scoops, we give them 1 scoop, and then we supplement with 2 eggs. And this seems to be holding them over just fine. They're not acting hungry. They're still looking really healthy, really full. Eggs are high in protein and a lot of those other vitamins that are going to keep them healthy. So that's how we're doing it with the dogs. The chickens, if push comes to shove, we'll just go back to letting them be 100% free range and they're on their own for finding their own food. We did just connect with a local, I'll call it farm around here, homesteaders that order bulk and get a really big bulk. We could do that, but we don't have a way for it to actually be delivered on site, and you've got to have a way for it to be delivered on site because they bring in a semi. Our road, we're at the end of a dirt road. A semi truck is not going to be able to get down here, unload, turn around, get out. So we just kind of go in with them, partner with them. That feed has already saved us money. I would say for any of you who are having trouble finding food or anything like that, if you're not ordering in bulk, find a place you can order in bulk, even if you have to go pick it up. I know that there's several places here in our state that will do that. They have non-GMO options. Organic is nearly impossible to find now. Definitely look into that. You can save money. And it seems like a lot of these local milling places, a lot of them source from local places. So they're not really being affected by a lot of this worldwide grain shortage and everything like that. So they're still a good option. Still a great place to find food for your livestock and animals. We do still feed them hay. I wanted to show you what we did for a hay feeder for these guys. It is over here on the side. Let's put you down. There you go. Check out this beautiful hay feeder right here. So right now it's kind of operating 50% efficiency, I'll say. The way that this thing is designed to work is for them to stick their head through this space right here. But since we had babies and the one that we kept, Frost, is still kind of small. She's almost big enough to where we can completely open this back up again. But stick their heads through here, eat from here, and that backside, you can see the goat right there, is eating on the backside. The backside's closed off so they don't have access to the hay. So it basically forces them to stick their heads through here. Why do we do that? Well, if you've started looking into hay feeders for goats, one of the biggest complaints is the amount of waste. Goats are extremely wasteful, mainly because anything that drops on the ground, they're not gonna eat. If they are eating it, it can become a problem really quick because they're also pooping right there. You don't want them eating where they're pooping, because all of that waste just falls straight down to here, and they can't poop right there. They can eat it, and they will eat it because it is clean. We actually got this idea from GoDaddy's farm. Theirs is set up a little bit differently, but I really like the way this works. We just put a piece of tin on top. That tin is tied with wire to the fence so that it hinges and we can load it from the top. Makes it really easy, keeps it dry enough. And yeah, this thing actually has worked out very well for us. I'm gonna walk you around to the entry. That is the other thing. Goats have this reputation that they are great escape artists. We've never had an issue with goats escaping, unless we left the door open. Which in that case, I can't really count it as an escape. They were just taking advantage of an opportunity. The reason is because they're really smart, and they will watch the way that you come in and that you leave their pen. And they will watch the way that you use that latch, whatever latching mechanism you have. And if they can figure it out, they will unlatch that gate and get out. So the way that we have prevented that from happening is we basically created a double door entrance. Now our zoo here in South Carolina does this with their kangaroo exhibit because you can walk into the kangaroo exhibit. So that's actually where we kind of got this idea. And we doubled it as our milk house. So this is our milk house behind us. We have featured this in some other videos, but it's been a while. Basically, we set it up to where you enter their pen through the milk house. So let's go in, I'll show you. Voila. So here we are inside the goat house. Now we do have plastic up, still left over from the winter. We have not gotten around to taking it off. With the temperatures getting so hot, it will be coming off. That's on my list today. And I think what we're gonna do, because this was the first year that we put the plastic up because we held our babies in here, is I'm just gonna cut the corners and then attach ties to the top so that we can just roll it up. And that way we don't have to take the plastic completely off, but we can open it up. No, it's hot in here right now, but when that plastic is not there and we just have the screen, it really is pretty nice because it stays, for the most part, shaded, and it allows wind flow to go through here. You can milk them out in the field. You don't have to have like a covered area. However, if it's raining, then you're either skipping that milking or you're milking in the rain. You also don't have to have it like enclosed. We chose to do that just to cut down on the flies and stuff. It helps, and personal preference, I would say have like a little room or a closed-in area where you can take them to go milk. So the way this is set up in here is we've got our milk stand behind us right here. We did build that, did not do a video because it was built before we were doing YouTube. But basically just busted apart a pallet and use that. There are a couple of 2x4s we had to buy for that, but really easy. There's a lot of videos out there. You could go YouTube it, dimensions. You definitely want to pay attention to your goat breed and make sure you're building one that is suited for the breed of goat that you have, because they vary greatly in size. So behind me we've got storage. We keep their grain out here. That's in that bucket, black bucket. I say bucket, black trash can. We got the cleaning supplies over there. Our shelf is actually, there it is. It doubles as a baby goat feeder. It holds the bottles for us. We did do a video on that. I will link that right here. That is a huge help if you're gonna be bottle feeding babies. It's a lot of fun to do it by hand, but then when you're doing it like 3-4 times a day, every single day, it does get old. This really does simplify that process. We do mechanically milk, so for us, it works well. It speeds us up. Even the time it takes to clean it, it's just a lot easier. Mainly because we can hook them up and go do other chores. We can go do like something really quick in the garden, come back. We don't have to be here hands-on the whole time. But that is certainly a financial investment and something that is gonna be different from homestead to homestead. And then like I said, here's the other door that goes straight into the pen. And we're coming into the pen. So here's the goat pen, really nice how we have that set up. I really do like it because it does make it easy, because they are eager sometimes to get out when you're trying to get in. And that way, if they do get in, especially when the kids are coming in, then if you've done it right and you shut the first door, they can only get into the milk house and they're not running around your yard. So this sketchy bunker looking thing behind me is actually the goat house. That is their shelter where they can go. It is bigger than we needed it, but knowing that we were going to be adding goats, we wanted to make it big enough to where we could get several goats in there where they would feel comfortable. Really all it is we did it up off the ground, put plywood sheets up for the walls so that they are protected from any wind or weather that we may get. Put a slightly slanted roof on the top. Let me show you the inside. So on the inside, one thing that's important for cleaning sake is making sure you have a gap in between your boards, because you don't want to have all of their poop collecting in there. By putting a 1/4 inch gap, usually 1/4 inch is big enough, that poop can just kind of fall through. You can rake it through, whatever you need to do to clean it out, and it just makes it a lot easier so it doesn't continue to pile up in there. The reason we do it off the ground is really, I mean, GoatDaddies does it that way. That's where we got our goats from. So we just did it that way. If you look at people who keep goats out in other countries where predators are a really big issue, almost all of them, their goat houses are off the ground. And the idea behind that is it gives them a place to get up off the ground away from the predator to buy them just a little bit of time. How accurate that is, I don't really know, but hey, we do it. And it does seem to be something they like, because goats like to climb. So that is all that I have for you guys today with goats. I hope that that was helpful. I got an amazing Father's Day / anniversary gift that I need to go put together. It is a new grill that I am super excited about. If you guys have any questions about any of this stuff, then be sure to leave them in the comments below. We'd love to help you out. I know there's a lot of people looking to get into dairy goats, or that have just gotten into goats. If you've got a different way that you do any of this stuff or your own ideas, please, by all means, share them down below. We love discussions like that. Give it a thumbs up if you like this material. We've been doing a lot of garden stuff recently, so this is something a little bit different. Getting off of that, we do like to try to cover everything. It's just been that the garden's been consuming a lot of our time. If you've subscribed, thank you so much. Welcome to the family. If you've not, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is a really easy way to support us, and it's free for you. Hope you guys have a great week. I am hoping and praying that the sickness gets out of our house so that we can have a great week. Be blessed.